Hello, everybody! Welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. Broadcasting Link to the Past Randomizer Pilot Spoiler Tournament 2022. We've got the semifinals game 2 for you today. It's Team Whatevs versus It's Dangerous to Go Alone, Take Nep. Commentating first, we have Clear Mouse and Dante, and tracking his homemade beer. Say hello, everybody.
Yo, hello. Welcome back for game 2. Hey, Dante. That was a really exciting game 1, by the way.
It was. If you missed it, it was pretty good. But we're getting ready to have another exciting game. So Nep and Rel can take it game 1. So they are trying to close the series out here to punch their ticket to finals. Meanwhile, Ravis and P-Train trying to stave off elimination and force a game 3 at a to-be-determined time, from what I can gather. So we will we'll see how this goes. I think we're getting ready to kick off here shortly.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, so like game 1 was really exciting. I think it really does actually, I think, highlight the skills of both the pilots and the runners, like finding a very efficient route, but then also being able to execute and follow through on that route on, basically spoiler level, like, equipment.
Yeah, for sure. Both of these runners very talented. Ravis and Nep also very talented runners and pilots in this tournament. This is a very, very tough tournament for all parties involved, and I would say probably the pilots are the ones who are stressed out the most. They have the hardest job for the first like 10 to 20 minutes of this.
Yeah, when we talk about a lot of you take an early death or something bad happens in execution, right? Don't tilt. Pilots kind of go through the same thing too, right? You just gotta make sure that you also still keep your cool. When something doesn't happen or you forget something, which of course 100% does. We got a nice 300 by the way here in Sanctuary, and in uncharacteristic for Ravis and Peach to kind of not do their normal hula hitting route. Ravis seeing the 300 in Sanctuary means that they don't have to go spend the extra minute or whatever, right, in order to go get money. So very heads up, I think, on Ravis' side.
Yeah, they're headed directly to buy some bombs.
That's
definitely going to save them time based off, how things went early game for them last time. But Nep and Rocket here in Lost Woods, there's a glove here.
Oh yeah,
so
there is.
Now this is going to be something to watch here in the next couple minutes because, well, I take that back. Relkin and Nep also saving and quitting. I was going to say, like, they have no bombs heading into Kakariko, but maybe those are required, and that is why they're going the way they are. But Relkin's going to get a bomb from that pod.
Is this like the mythical we only need one bomb to go to Agina type of thing? Like, I mean, the fact that we have a glove and being able to get that 50-50 rock, which actually might be it's actually good 50-50 rock. You actually get to actually get a bomb out of it. But yeah, like that's actually very, very nicely to be able to have. All right, looks like we are gonna have to get something exactly from the dam. Do not need the floodgate chest, or maybe we'll get it later. Who knows? But right now, it's not gonna be useful for us.
Yeah, we are basically synced up walking out of the dam. So we get to be double shocked when we see a fairy in a bottle.
Wow,
that's going to be a welcome find.
Oh yeah, fairy in the bottle, potentially one of the biggest, nicest safeties you have, because so while potions you refill your health and potentially your magic depending on the potion. One is for spoiler log, you may not even have more than like, let's say 8 hearts or something in order to actually take advantage of the potion versus fairy difference, but also you have to use the potion, right? As opposed to the fairy, if something happens to you, you don't have to worry whatsoever. So
all right, P-Train making this room look easy.
Oh my god, that is worlds different than how the very first time goes. He did very nicely job on that. So rewarded, by the way, with that hammer and the pearl. Wow.
Okay, that's 2 pieces of Dark World access. So I gotta say, like, if I'm P-Train, I'm feeling really good right now. Just mainly because knowing that happened last race and then not having to worry about it, like just absolutely nailing it.
Exactly.
Flute there on Sick Kid. So I was wondering how and when Nep and Relkin were going to get back, in a time-efficient manner, but I guess with Flute, that would be
With the
it.
flute. Yeah. I will say, though, I think in this case, having to go back from Mini Moldor, maybe, it's not going to be that big of a time difference, but the fact that P-Train and Ravis went to go buy bombs, right, immediately after Sanctuary, right, and, versus, I think, presumably Relkin and Nep are going to go buy bombs now in order to do Mini Moldor, I think it was actually very nice, they flowed really well, for the early game routes.
Yeah. Is Kakariko literally nothing but trash? Like, is that what's happening?
That's what it's looking like. P-Train and Ravis though are
not going to get that flute. I guess we're going straight to Dark World.
I guess so. Yeah. So maybe that means the mirror must be close by.
It's very possible.
My gosh, this is, talk about a hyper-aggressive route, right? We're, as I think you play this, play a seed blind, right? I don't know if you're secretly hoping or not to find early Dark World access, but like maybe how early is too early, right? Because we're here on 3 hearts, Scream Mail. Like this is basically inverted now. Level of difficulty.
All right, so Power of Hera big. Let's see if we get a mirror in here. Small key that looks to be GT.
Okay, that's always good. P-Train also taking care to make sure that he doesn't die here in Hype Cave, which is very heads up. Oh, we get a sword out of this.
Sword is good.
All right, this is Relkin kind of heading back with bombs in order to come back to Mini Moldorm Cave. So hopefully Relkin's gonna have a similar time, as P-Train did. Be rewarded with his love, with his hammer and pearl.
Yeah. All right, so Relkin does have that fairy if things go off the rails.
Oh, what a nice big magic drop there from the I think the blue guard. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is really nice to see. We don't have any magic using items right now, but magic is one of the hardest resources to go find. As part of like. Just execution, especially without boots, right? Like there's just very no source of good magic for you.
All right, so Relkin and Nep heading out. P-Train and Ravis heading to.
We're diving Crystal Pod with 0 keys. What is looking like? Amazing. Like, all right. So do you actually know if P-Train can mimic clip? Out of curiosity. We may be using that fairy, by the way. Like that could be also fairy. Yeah. Okay. Because we can fairy revive too, right? All right. Looks like Moogle in chat confirming that we can, in fact, mimic clip on P-Train's side. So whether or not he wants to do it, versus maybe using fairy revival to get something on the Bollock side, maybe it's up to him. I think if he's maybe confident. I would definitely
do the clip. If that's in my back pocket, I'm doing that. I want that fairy for when I inevitably screw up.
Yeah. All right, looks like so Relkin and Nep has made their way over into Village of Outcast Dark World entry portal. No Hype Cave entrance means that they don't get that sword quite yet. Now they do have the hammer, which of course Relkin I'm sure is very adept at, but it is maybe they'll get a sword out here as well. Yeah, looks like we're going.
Buffered or bufferless? All right, we're doing the bufferless one.
Oh, Bikini Eastern too in chess game. All right, we do notice it is a Crystal Eastern, so let's see where that bow is.
Yeah.
Looks like the mimic was in the wall, and then unfortunately got like I don't know, he scooched himself out.
Yeah, sometimes that does happen.
P-Train also taking some, some maybe revenge or something. Oh, looks like we're just gonna get, we're gonna cut our time loss for now, and then we are going to, looks like we're gonna fairy revive, which is very, which is totally very, valid in this case, just because you are in a game 2, as you mentioned, elimination match. At some point, you just have to recognize that this isn't gonna happen, and then just do your backup because you can't afford much more time loss.
Gets it done there with that. Unfortunate use of the fairy, but I'm assuming something's important here. So there's a sword in Thieves, and they do have the big key, but to do the back, it's a pendant, but Relkin and Nep bailing out.
Yeah. Also, so we did see that, Relkin picked up the mirror here in Brewery. So I think actually, we are Russian boots. You know what?
Okay.
100%. Nice. I was gonna say, so Relkin and Net made an extra trip into Kakariko, but it looks like, like we didn't really need anything immediately in Kakariko. They just wanted that flute, right, and then go back to Mini Moldrum Cave. I think in this case, Ravis and Peachrain are gonna be able to do this all in one go, right? They don't have to necessarily make a separate trip in, which I think is is really, like I said, especially when Ravis didn't have the first minute in order to plan things out. This is really nice routing, in my opinion. All right, what's here? Okay, we got one of our requisite, requisite Turtlerock. This, by the way, this is a very, very interesting divergence point, right? So Peachrain ended up getting the boots like immediately, right? And I guess I don't know when Relkin's gonna. I mean, he might be going right now, for what it's worth, but it's certainly gonna be a bit more of a delay in terms of when Relkin gets boots versus Peachrain. Yeah, but looks like mitts are gonna be, late in terms of access, just because no one wants to go into the Dark World and via this portal if you don't have the mitts. But sometimes, if this is your only entry access point, this is what you gotta do.
Yeah, and Sword's very convenient today. Under 10 minutes and we're already at Tempered Sword over on Relkin's side.
Yeah.
So, Peachrain not gonna be too far behind on that as well.
Yeah, you also notice one other difference, right? Having boots, having sword, in order to get into Village of Outcasts, like Peachrain just saved like a bundle of time, right? Over the boostless, let's pick up every bush party, type of time.
Okay, so they're not going to Pod. They're going to the Pyramid, it looks like.
Okay, what's here? I mean, they could still be going to Pod for what it's worth. Like just maybe en route. They do have the mirror, and so, but it looks like we're also gonna get something out of front of escape, maybe? Uncle?
Okay. There's definitely something to be said about, not going too far out of your way for boots early.
Mm-hmm.
I am the person who is tempted as the pilot to push my runner to said boots. But having a really good understanding of like the time investment is one thing to note.
Yeah, and the front and now both Uncle and Secret Patch have 2 Pod Smalls, so we are still missing in this case a bow and Pod Big Key, but still like because in this case there was literally no access for Peachrain and Ravis other than just the Bowlock side. Like we couldn't even but like maybe Relkin and Nep would be able to get something else out of Pod, in addition to.
Right. Looks like we're going into Aga.
Yeah, the first chest of Castle Tower as well. Oh man. Yeah, it looks like maybe also late hookshot. Of course, Peachrain just at least reminding me that we did pick up. I think you mentioned this earlier, Biki Hera from the well. If we gotta go upstairs early, right, with no hookshot, this is again, this is what you gotta do.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
okay, so that's definitely a find.
I'm also, by the way, Relkin giving up his fairy, and like I guess we're gonna go get a potion. He wants to do probably Bowlock side of Pod, just like just like Peachrain.
Yeah, this is probably just I can mimic clip, but I don't want to waste a bunch of time doing it or something.
Exactly. Yeah. By the way, also I think that was a nice little time save on Relkin's side, right? So he bought a green potion. He's gonna have to use it while waiting for the flute. He used his ice rod in order to get his magic bar down a little. So that was a really nice time save. I mean, it's very minor, but it's also very nice.
Peachrain already heading to the south. Gonna be able to do these checks a little quicker than Relkin and Nep did by dashing. Getting his tempered now as well. So we'll see where his next move is going to be.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Peachrain looks like seemingly we're gonna now pick up Pod keys right on Peachrain's side, but I'm gonna assume that the next time they go back to Pod is gonna be to beat the dungeon. As you said, to get the boots very early is quite nice. Triple dipping Pod seems not as nice, right? So hopefully
not something you want to do if you don't have to. We do have our medallions today are Ether and Bombos for TR. Maybe we don't need Ether. That's just because it's a pendant mire.
Yeah.
It's a huge hope.
I think the last seed, right? Didn't we have to go through all 3 pendant dungeons anyway? We even had to beat one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like Thieves Town, maybe you don't need one right now. Like in that, you know, like, but there was a sword in there. So I don't know if you consider that to be counted, but it, you know, to give us tempered, so we're always gonna go into there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and we actually see, you know, as you mentioned before, Rolkin just saving, you know, a bunch of time, basically, not trying to mimic Clip, just using the potion, right? And we can just basically get our boots, like, right now.
He should have mimicked Clip. I'm gonna call him a coward.
Yeah.
Because he's my friend.
Wait, did P-Train not get the heart container in the map chest? Like, was that
gosh.
was that not in the way enough?
That had to be an oversight.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, you know, Ravis in this case was just very excited, right, in order to go get the boots. And, you know, I think, you know, again, even, like, the map chest, technically, like, in the log, is, like, not where the, like, it's not right next to the, you know, to the ledge chest, so I can certainly see that. But it is, especially this early, with only 3 hearts, it is something that's very, much to be desired to have.
Alright, so we are diving into Bolus Eastern.
So we do, yeah. Man, I actually wonder, so if the bow is here and the big key to pod is here, this is actually going to be quite nice for Relkin and Nep, just because we only have to dive the pod area once. Might actually be worth the trade-off for boots, but although, like, I don't know, the boots are still really, really nice.
Yeah, so we are up in, oh, there's flippers. Okay, and we're out. So, but yeah, we do have that big key to Hera that we saw in Kakariko, and that is where P-Train and Ravis are now.
Yeah, and actually it looks like, you know, so Peach and Ravis also went, you know, to the front of Escape, right, to go get their pod keys, and of course their ice rod, the first chest of Castle Tower, but honestly it did look like the fact that Relkin only went into, again, the Bolok side of pod, and then of course grab whatever he wanted, you know, in Eastern, the armor and the flippers. Looks like actually we didn't actually need those pod keys yet, so potentially could have delayed those pod keys till later with the boots.
And
we just see
P-Train.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be huge. We could do a whole lot of this mountain now, and by a whole lot, I mean the entirety of it.
Yeah, mirror, hammer, mitts, right? Like we have everything in terms of access. All right, Moldorm fight number 1. P-Train also has the hammer out. Jeez. Okay.
He was in no danger. He was fine. Getting a small key to Hyrule Castle. We kind of have to pick that item up. I don't think we're gonna need to go back.
Yeah. But yeah, that is crystal number 1 down for P-Train. I mean, honestly, like so far, maybe outside of that heart container, on the map chest, I mean, I think like the fact that like the P-Train and Ravis teamwork has been quite strong, you know, so far. I think their route has worked out very well for them.
Absolutely. All right, so we're in the Mire area on P-Train's side with these new checks. Relkin and Nep going to be taking on Moldorm as well.
Yeah, it looks like we are going into Crystal Desert. Now, we don't need very much in order to clear out Desert, but we do need a fire source. That was very, very close to that cactus. But good thing that P-Train didn't take damage. But yeah, we picked up King of Samaria. That is definitely 100% required. You would also, of course, very like to have it before Ice Palace. And good thing we got boots, by the way, you know?
Yeah. Now with no desert big, we're not beating this. That's a TR small, not required just yet, but we are gonna need all 3 of or at least 3 of them. We do have 3 on P-Train's side. Now Relkin only has 1, and I'm not sure where the difference was.
I'm trying to remember where the third or whatever second Turtle Rock small came from.
So we did get a hook shot as well there. That's going to be nice if we need Hookshot Cave, but Swamp being a crystal's got to be completed as well.
All right, we're going to visit Chicken Hut here. Second time through. I don't... Maybe did Relkin get this? Oh, small key. Oh, interesting. Small key to
Skullwood's
Skull
small.
Woods. Yeah. So we don't have the fire rod here yet. While this is not necessarily the best fight to have in Mothula, 3-heart Mothula fight. But if there is something in the front of Skull Woods, which looks like that's where they're going, that small key is going to be very, very nice. Just in terms
for
of,
sure.
yeah, you don't have to, go all the way to the back and then like be Mothula and then come walk out of the back to the front or whatever. Yeah, it would be quite convenient. And I think it's actually is a very worthwhile key to pick up. This is definitely save you time.
Yeah, most definitely. And our tracker, Homemade Beer, reminding us in chat that the other TR small was in Bonk Rocks. I do remember that now.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Right,
and
so we're
jumping
into Pin and Skull Woods. This is the pinball room. What do we have? That's a big key to TR. Going to be required.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice key, by the way, Nordic pick up. Yeah, so the other option, actually, as a very good reminder for you, to me, that Skullwoods is a pendant, so maybe you don't have to go beat it, but you can, in theory, steal the key from the back. But yeah, if you just have one here, like, it's just very nice to be able to have. But looks like, we're gonna go to the back anyway, so who knows about this key?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think that chicken hut key was faster than the one if you like run all the way to the left side and grab that one and then come back?
Probably so.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
A couple of screen transit. Oh, there's a bow.
Oh yeah.
Um,
this might be. Yeah, we're just I think missing the pod big key to go clear out pod eastern, right? As a combo.
Yeah, like Beard's saying in chat, and I agree. You could have had bow before GT or EP. And it's kind of precarious.
But man, maybe we didn't want to. Well, yeah, but I mean, if you have to go back to the pod eastern area anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we're gonna
I was kind of thinking the routing into. So far, we have there's a big key to desert. Okay. And the fire. Wow, everything's just here.
Everything is in Dark Death Mountain. P-Train barely avoiding death when he jumped down and almost landed on the dead rock. Hopefully, he doesn't die here.
So the good news for P-Train and Ravis, never mind. I was like, they could just go into TR. This is how my brain is not processing. We do need a Bombos medallion. Who knows where that is?
That is true. Oh my gosh, P-Train, please. I'm trying to actually remember. So when P-Train and Ravis were both up here, they beat Hera. But I guess they didn't want to do Dark Death Mountain because no hookshot cave maybe, or no hookshot for hookshot cave.
Right. Yeah, there was no hookshot.
Okay, that's very fair. That's very fair. Yeah, and it looked like actually we needed a lot of stuff out of hookshot cave. So like especially in this case, as you said, it might just be faster, to in this case like go out, come back, and get the hookshot versus trying to hover this thing, right?
Yeah, it would really depend on the time of the mountain climb. And then how well your hovers go if you were to use them.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because you don't want to waste too much time, and as low health as you are, you have a very limited number of tries.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point too. Yeah, just like with bomb jumping, if you fall, if you do not succeed in your hover, you do not get very many tries. But although speaking of low health, we see Relkin here in Ice Palace with, of course, the newly acquired Fire Rod. Having a little bit of trouble here looking for Icebreaker, but we get through. Alright, P-Train also going to pick up a green potion, maybe also in preparation for Ice Palace.
Yeah, and Relkin, just to note, does not have that safety. So, he does have an armor.
Good point.
All right, so there's another TR small. So that's kind of on the way. They won't have to take an extra trip, but...
Oh, P-Train. This is like the curse of the fake flipper, Because he also... I think we saw this earlier in Game 1. He kind of struggled a little bit in order to get the setup, but this time it looked a little bit better. But yeah, the one difference, of course, is that Relkin and Neb went into Eastern Palace to go get the flippers too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And if we're doing Swamp soon... I would say that maybe the flippers are worth it. I'm still like scratching my head on that one just a bit, but you know, I'm not the one driving, so I'm here for the ride.
Yeah, and actually now I'm kind of curious because, you know, so just going over just to go clear Eastern is not actually too big, you know, of a cost, right? You fly in, it's maybe like something like 15-20 seconds maybe to get in. So if you're gonna, so if Ravis and P-Train just want to clear Eastern, you know, and not have to wait for the pod big key in order to do both, I think it's actually very viable in order to be able to just, you know, go back to Eastern, clear it, because they can now. Relkin cleaning up Colster, holy cow, that is really well done.
That was very nicely done. Heads up play to use the beams. Does get a shovel. Don't know if we need that. I would assume so. I'm assuming something's behind that shovel just because we've got both runners here and we didn't really get anything else.
Yeah, I was even looking at the tracker, you know, for a 5-6 crystal, and nope. not even one of those.
Not even once.
Yeah,
Alright, so P-Train and Ravis getting this 4th TR small.
I mean, you know, I don't actually think it's necessarily bad, because like they still had to go into Kakariko anyway, you know, in order to go get, you know, like that's their first time through. And when they had the boots, again, I think it was a very efficient way to do things. You know, the Poke Key still does cost time, and so now they don't even have to go through that whole, you know, shenanigan of, you know, going killing the Poke, right?
Exactly. That's like, it's so ingrained in like random memory, you know, muscle memory, that, you know, a lot of people new to this mode don't really consider the time sink that it is going through those pipes and the screen transition and chasing down the Pokey if he's unfavorable. Okay. So and Daruk in chat reminding us, reminding me that I totally missed that swamp small that both runners did get here in Ice. So that is something that is very valuable.
All right, that is very fair. Yeah, it looks like though. So Relkin and not opting to go get the Chicken Hut small key. We are going to go and presumably we're gonna go. Well, they actually just might save and quit. Like, you know, as in they're gonna get this, they're gonna get the bow, and then they are going to go, you know, just drop down to Pinball Room, and then just maybe end their route there. You know, versus P-Train. Oh my gosh. Please, use your potion. Please survive. We are holding your breath for you.
I need this to stay. Yeah. Okay. Good. Fire Rod. Here we go.
P-Train. Oh my gosh. P-Train. Oh. You know, the Fire Rod, I will say, is P-Train's friend. Like, he also saved himself from a Birdo death in game 1 yesterday, between, you know, him, his series and Kilrick and Jeff. And, like, he has used that Fire Rod to stave off at least death here on Cold Stare. Oh my gosh.
Look at that bobblehead Link. Stone Cold Killer, no expression. He was never worried. Even getting hit, he didn't have like the hit animation, just stone cold the whole time.
Sometimes, you know, I would actually like a pilot cam. Just, you know, when you are watching your runner, like I don't know, you know, like I don't know how expressive Ravis is, but I think the
Rando universe has given us all the best blessings we could ever have from a pilot cam in the first season of the league, where we got to see Scary Olive confused that he got his runner pendant.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I almost forgot about that emote. Yeah, it's been iconicized too. All right, so this is actually gonna be pretty.
They're gonna be able to clear.
And
I was gonna say they're gonna be able to clear their Eastern here as well. So, like, I mean, you think about it. This is a few screen transitions that like Relkin and Nep are gonna have to repeat. So, like, you know, minimizing these is very essential.
Yeah, no, actually, you actually brought up a very good point, because initially I was thinking, I was like, well, you know, going into Eastern, a separate trip to not combine with Pod, you know, there's going to be a little bit of extra time. But as you rightfully pointed out, Relkin and Nep, even though they didn't have to go back into Eastern, they have to basically repeat part of the front too, right? And that's, you know, basically another set of time, you know, kind of given. So.
All right, so P-Train is apparently skipping everything.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Trad is Moogle is pointing out rightfully so. Well, everything. That's not good. Okay, P-Train's remembering that we need the flippers.
We skipped the blue mail. We skipped the flippers.
We just need the flippers at least. This is not a bad chest to go back to, for what it's worth. But it is maybe gonna kind of
Ravis in the chat.
Yeah. But I do think that the observation, though, of pointing out, I mean, the heart container maybe on the map chest wasn't going to be that big of a deal, but honestly, like, especially in this case, if you're down a game, you know, versus somebody like Relkin and Nep, right, you may not have the time to spare. And we actually saw from P-Train's side that who needs blue mail when you're facing down, let's say, cold stare, right? You know, like, if you don't,
I mean,
if you don't,
three
if
heart
you don't
cold
get
stare,
hit,
it's like he was born in inverted.
yeah. I was not trained. I was already born with it. Yes, I understand.
Exactly.
Yeah, just don't get hit, you know, and then you don't need any safeties.
All right, so is there going to be a required item on Armos nights? That could be a little bit of a time investment here. Like this could be pod big. I mean, granted, you're still here, so
yeah. Oh, it's a small key too. Okay, all right. You know, it's not. Yeah, you're not very gonna complain about a small key. I mean, in this case it'll just save you what the back pod, I guess. You don't have to go get it. Yeah.
All right,
but I mean,
is Rilke gonna save it?
Oh,
he does not.
Just not quite there. Unfortunately, we got the empty cycle. But he does have his ice rod out, so he's not gonna. We're not gonna be privy to Bo Argus, you know, for this fight. We're just gonna have, you know, some traditional ice rod bouts.
So we did get Bombos, so that is always nice to have. So crystal counts right now 2-2. P-Train about to get his third. Check that 3-3.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. P-Train just finished up Argus and Armos. Relkin just finished up Argus.
Yeah, 5-6 definitely could be something today, but looks like we're headed to. Is this the Turtle Rock play?
Oh wow! All right, maybe something very important here. I mean, you know, that pod big key, by the way, key sanity. It's at least the bane of one. You know, Cloud's existence. But I mean, it can be, you know, a lot of places. And if you know, if the big key Turtle Rock happens to be, or big key to pod happens to be a Turtle Rock, right? You know, that's a very logical, you know, route, you know, for Relkin and Nep to take.
Indeed.
Oh man, that mirror. I always maybe P-Train is just not anxiety induced when he sees the mirror, like, you know, on a Y item or anything, but whenever I see that, I just think like something's gonna happen. They're just gonna mirror out when they don't want to.
The thing is, the moment you think that you're going to do it is when you do it. If you just never think about it, you're never gonna accidentally do it.
Yeah, looks like that. Looks like something is here in Turtle Rock that we care about.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned the pod big. I think that's it, right? Like that's all we need. We've seen the GT big.
Yeah, we got the Desert Palace big early in Hookshot Cave. Hopefully we're not gonna go into Mire at all because it's a pendant.
We can hope.
Yeah, and in terms of offense, you know, we got Tempered Sword, one bow. I think another bow would be nice. Certainly not required for either of these guys. The lamp would certainly be a very nice luxury. It might make the magic management in GT a little bit nicer as well.
Okay.
Hey, look,
well, there's your pod key.
There's our pod big key.
and all the clouds rejoiced.
Yes. Hey, Beer is pointing out that we did not go get Bombos.
Oh
it
no,
It was in the compass chest. Oh no. It is not the end of the world if we mirror back, like once we beat the dungeon, and then we just go back and get it again. Right? It's not the end of the world. It will be a couple of repeats, but if they leave, that is definitely the end of the world.
Yeah,
or
it's
end
not,
of a worlds.
It's just a bit of a time loss. It might be the end of the world if they leave.
Yes.
And have to pull the dam again. That's when it feels really bad.
Oh yeah, that is a repeat of the pod big key incident from, you know, game 1 of Ravis and P-Train versus like Chloe and Orange. Luckily, they had like a 4-minute build-up or lead at that point, so you know, didn't feel as bad. But this one might. I don't think there's a 4-minute, you know, gap anywhere.
All right, gets the one cycle there on phase 2. Solid fight. All right, let's please go back in. Everybody get your Prage emotes out in chat.
Yeah, big energy for let's go back into swamp. Not even for left side. You know, it doesn't have to be that bad. It can be, you know, into compass chest. All right, Roken, unfortunately, not having good pokies. Have to take a little bit of extra time. All right, okay. Looks like P-Train has remembered. So, you know, and again, you know, as you mentioned before, part of, you know, staying cool, stiff, you know, stoic, whatever, is to be able to recover quickly, you know, and still play the game when you end up, you know, forgetting things, right? You know, for example, forgetting flippers in Eastern Palace, right? In this case, forgetting bombos, you know, they are, as you mentioned, time losses, but they're not gonna like be probably like the make or break thing to kind of put you out of the, you know, out of the running, you know, especially, you know, versus like a weak crap, we gotta go back to Swamp Palace, right? After we've already left.
Yeah. I mean, all things considered, like, I mean, Roken's still on 4 hearts, so like,
yeah, that 1 heart from the map chest of pod.
I mean, I don't care if your name's Airy, like, you're gonna have a hard time with the seed a little bit, I think, you know, unless there's like this plethora of heart containers on
maybe. They might be all in like GT. Yeah, maybe they're all in GT somewhere. I mean, but by the way, like this also could be maybe, you know, like Relkin or not Relkin, Nep and Ravis are also, you know, kind of like probably watching, you know, like their opponents, right? And so maybe they don't think that they're willing to give up the extra time in order to go get a heart container, right? Maybe a Relkin could be like that case too. All right, looks like we are gonna go beat Desert first. So it looks like this is just gonna be a go mode dungeon. In that, you know, they can probably just beat it anytime because they had to come back to the mountain, you know, off the mountain anyway after Turtle Rock. I actually kind of like this from Ravis and P-Train just because, especially maybe after like both the flippers and the bombos incidents, you know, we're just gonna take a couple minutes, you know, go through the dungeon. Right. You know, let's calm our nerves down, you know, then we'll go do something, you know, in this case, 3 heart Turtle Rock. Oh my gosh. Man, imagine playing a double header like this. I would be stressed out to the max. All right, Trinex so down.
Yeah, Relkin finishing Trinex. So now it's Dungeon Blitz mode. For Relkin and Nep.
yeah. So right, they, you know, as we just needed the pot Bicky out of the compass chest or the spike chest from Turtle Rock, and yeah, it was a definitely hard. You know, like you cannot combine. In this case, like you know, you can't just go to Turtle Rock before Swamp or whatever because you needed the Bombos Medallion for entry.
All right, so it was a solid fight there on P-Trade's side as well with Landmo. You know, hopefully, like let's you know knock this out. They're headed up the mountain now. They're up to 5 crystals, so DR is going to be 6. We're not really going to know the standing. Oh my gosh, getting dead rock.
No, that is awful. It's 8 seconds too. It's really painful. We're going into the back of Saha. I don't think we've seen this yet at all.
Heart piece.
We want armor. Okay, makes sense.
Suddenly, it feels like you have, you know, almost 8 hearts.
Yeah. that armor. So we're actually. Oh my gosh, P-Train is getting terrible dead rock luck, but also, you know, kind of as a counter, right? Relkin is on red mail, 4.25 hearts, versus P-Train's 3 heart green mail.
Gamer status. P-Train has graduated to the G train.
Yeah, no.
Gamer train.
The fact that his performance, maybe like outside of that, I think that really like it's a situation he really couldn't do in Mini Moldrum in the game 1. He has, I mean, like you talk about people being good at spoiler, like he is like has really shown that he can play spoiler, right? Like 3 to 5 heart, everything, you know, green mail, you know, he has survived it all.
All right, 2 cutscenes. Don't adjust your game feeds. We're just sitting here waiting for stuff to open.
Yeah. I didn't actually realize how purple, I guess, Mario looked with red mail. It's just that you don't often get to see, I guess, you know, sprites with red mail that often.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm watching P-Train's small key tracker for Turtle Rock up top. We do have all 4 that you also like pointed out earlier. So we're gonna be able to skip that pokey key. Nice slash to get some iframes on P-Train's side as well. That I'm pretty sure that would have killed him if he gotten hit by the floating skeleton. Oh, didn't unfortunately get the key dash. Alright, Relkin is facing off against Helmasaur, so very similar fight to what they had last time. And we are also on Temper Sword. Not as nice RNG, but Relkin manages to land the last hit before Helmasaur was able to touch him, so... We don't need to see you, Ether. Looks like we're both also gonna save some Fire Rod shots, but P-Train has maybe a little bit nicer RNG or something. They were able to handle it better. But these were the only 2 Pokies that he needed to go deal with. You know, since they have all 4 keys. Alright, so it looks like this is gonna be, yeah, the Pot Eastern cleanup from Relkin. They don't have to worry about picking up anything else extra at Eastern. They've already got the flipper, so no reason for them to backtrack or anything. No lamp in sight, as we're reminded again on P-Train's side. And we're probably going to see this on Relkin, well, or lack of being able to see anything on Relkin's side as well. But yeah, nicely done on P-Train's side. We're going straight to Trinex. It's okay, we can still take 1 hit from the body. Not that... Man, P-Train, I don't know if he has like an ice block with a fan or something just like blowing on him constantly, or like, you know, he is keeping his cool through this entire thing.
Stone cold killer, man.
Mm-hmm. Nice backdoor strats here on P-Train's side as well. Dante, did you note? Are you watching Relkin's arrow count?
He has enough, unless this room really goes terribly. But P-Train taking down Trinex. Now he's got 30. So if he doesn't get the quick kill here, then I'm taking away his 124 in NMG.
All right, I think that's very fair.
All right.
We have successfully defeated Armos Knights with the bow and only the bow. Dueling Crystal catches here too. That's looking very nice.
Yeah, both at 6 at the same time.
So it looks like we have we're gonna go beat Helma on P-Train's side, and then we're gonna go beat Desert on Relkin's side. And then I think it's just going to be a mad dash upstairs. Both teams, I believe, already have at least 1 GT small key, so don't even have to go steal the one from the pot. I guess I'm kind of curious to see in this case if there are silvers that maybe like are in GT. Maybe, you know, I don't even know if they're worth it in like Hope Room or something like that.
Right.
But certainly that would probably be like kind of like the only real thing left.
Yeah, looking at their trackers, they both have more than 1 GT small, so it's going to be just run upstairs and hope.
All right, looks like P-Train has decided to fill up on safeties here. Amazing, getting his 4th heart from heart pieces. Maybe just dropping bosses. They don't think I was paying attention, but also picking up that blue mail. Looks like we're gonna go fight Ganon, not on 3 hearts green mail at this point.
All right, so Relkin heading into land mode 2.
Really nice fast fight with the fire rod.
Oh, well, there's a 5th heart for Relkin.
Oh, well, perfect. Oh, maybe they thought that in this case they were going to be close, right? So, like, as in this case, when, Ruckman was probably going through his, his dungeon rushes, Net probably found, some time in order to try and figure out, like, oh, can we get enough for, for a heart container through heart pieces? Yeah. Yeah, this race is still pretty, like, all things good are, like, actually pretty, still pretty close, right? And I'm actually trying to think, like, so, in terms of things I think that kind of, like, there are notable things that maybe set P-Train and Ravis back just a little bit, right? So one was the very kind of, like, early on Mimic clip that they try to get with the boots, which I think if that had gone, better or faster, or maybe they decided to just do the fairy revival to begin with, it didn't have to necessarily maybe cost a little bit of extra time. The other two, of course, were not getting flippers, right? Already making to the back of Eastern before kind of have to backtrack a little. And then the other was, of course, is Bombos and Swamp Pals. But I think if you kind of take those away, honestly, I wouldn't really know who would be ahead. Like, it would be, like, very, very, very close.
It would be super, super close at this state. Another thing, I don't know if this was maybe seeing what was going on, but, we do see that Relka does have that blue cane. I do remember that popping out of the TR big chest, so they did invest some extra time to do that.
Oh, yeah.
If it's closer,
right.
maybe, I'm just speaking from myself here. If it's closer, maybe you say, hey, we're going to forego the safety because we got to keep our foot on the gas. But, you never know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it looks like, Cape is not accessible from what I gather. Yeah, and especially, the fact that, like, I think Ravis and P-Train took even, again, more aggressive route than before. P-Train basically doing everything on 3 Hearts Green Hill. I think also probably put a lot of pressure on Relkin and Nep as well. Oh, look, there's a heart container here in Hope Room GT. My guess is P-Train's going to skip that. But, again, like, Relkin kind of seeing, like, where P-Train, is kind of the state of the match, thinks that he could probably afford that in terms of time.
All right, and now P-Train and Ravis are going to be heading up to GT.
Yeah, so at this point, Relkin, just needs to finish the game. And he has red mail, which I think is, probably, well, it is definitely the best armor in terms of defense. It's not going to help him against spikes here, though, but, just in terms of defense and safety, it's probably okay. I think he does have, I want to say he has 1 potion, right? Because I thought he went back to go buy 1. But now I can't. I guess I can't have that confirm. I don't remember necessarily.
Well, we might find out here soon. He might need it.
Yeah. I mean, and for what it's worth, they do have the bug net. They have no powder or mushroom in order to use it. Okay. We're gonna go through Super Funny. Looks like we got another green potion on P-Train's side.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on the way, that makes a lot of sense, I think.
Yeah, and like, we've already, finished up Turtle Rock, so we don't have to necessarily go over there. And so if we want to take the Super Bunny way up, that's totally, acceptable.
All right, getting a 2 cycle here, most likely, on Relkin's side.
Yeah, looks like he's going to try and save a little bit of magic, too.
That land mode not cooperating.
Yeah, Relkin also taking a little bit of extra time in order to go and pick up a little bit of extra magic and hearts, just so he doesn't necessarily have to die. It looks like actually P-Train's going to go for that heart container as well.
Yeah, I can't say I blame them.
Yeah, I mean, like, climbing GT is kind of like one thing. Also, facing down Ganon is another thing. Like, you may still be okay, yeah, but it's like sometimes, I definitely know that there are runners that just, like, refuse to fight Ganon, without either, like, some sort of like, a couple extra hearts or, some sort of mail, right? It's just, like, way too risky, right, for them.
And I think picking up, like, if if Ravis is watching the restream and he knows, all right, we're behind climbing GT, then I think saying, hey, P-Train, I think you should get this heart container, like, because they got it, like, also, it is worth the time. Like, I don't think no matter who you're playing against, I don't think you're making up a full, like, a half climb, out of pure execution. But if you want to maximize your chance for doing well, so, like, if he takes a death by not having that extra heart, then it negates it, like, also, if Relka were to die.
Yeah, no, that's actually a very good point, right? Because, as you said, if you're going to try and make up, let's say, half a GT climb, you're kind of already, like, needing them, your opponent to basically, like, make some sort of mistake, right? Or, like, take a death or something, right? And so you still need to make sure that you don't do the same thing. Like, P-Train right here, he is very happy that he has the extra heart because right now he only has one to spare. Oh, no, P-Train! No. Oh, no. Oh. Yeah, that is a really unfortunate death. But even though Ravis is watching, right? Something still could happen, so you really, still need to go play it out. But this has been very, like, hyper aggressive, like, route for P-Train.
Yeah, for sure. Watching this mode, the more I've watched Spoiler, with stuff last year and then the pilot spoiler tournaments, it's like you have to really come to appreciate, like, how on you have to be to go through this whole tournament. Like, misreading one thing in the log can end you, and then one execution flaw also can. So consistency is really king here, I think.
Oh, yeah. No, you have, I think, definitely nailed that analysis. I mean, we talk about kind of being consistent, like speedrunning, NMG, right? The fewer mistakes, you make is definitely true. And it's kind of, I would say, like, just like for a team effort, right? The team's performance can still be greater than the sum of its parts. Just like team disasters can also be greater than the sum of its parts, right? Because now you have kind of also two liabilities versus maybe just one, right?
Sure.
Both, and then you kind of need both people to perform, well consistently. So then, that matters even more so. I will say though, I mean, like, from what we've kind of seen here from Relkin, Nep, P-Train, and Ravis, like, they have really, I think, pushed kind of like both their individual, like, and team abilities in order to kind of, like, keep up, with one another. Meyer. We weren't going into Meyer for silvers. Alright.
Yeah, no, that's a little far out of the way.
Yeah. Alright, so Relkin just needs to, finish up his silverless spins, and then we are gonna be able to, Relkin and Nep are gonna be able to move on to finals.
Well, we haven't hit all these spins yet.
No,
so
we haven't. Yeah,
you're
right. You're right. We're just waiting to see what happens. Meanwhile, P-Train though has successfully made his way up the gauntlet and go through torches.
All right, well, Ganon blowing up. All right, now Clear Mouse, you can punch that ticket.
All right, I have faith that Relkin is going to be able to hit the done on in race time. But get your GGs out in chat for Relkin and Nep. It is dangerous to go alone. Take Nep will advance their spot in brackets with a 2-0 series sweep over P-Train and Ravis. But I mean, like, holy cow, what a series! Very well done to all four runners.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And we'll see if we can, I think we're going to get all four of them in here. And so all four are here now. P-Train, Ravis, Relkin, Nep, GG's, guys.
Yeah, GG's, everyone.
GG's.
GG's.
That was quite the series. I think both teams, or all four of you, have exemplified today what it means to do pilot spoiler. The amount of health that I think everyone went through. I don't think you guys even broke like 6 hearts, I think, total or something. Maybe there was an extra 7th or something on the climb. I don't know, but it was pretty dicey the whole way through.
Yeah, it sure was. Especially this last seed was like you had no safeties hardly at all, unless you got both of the mail upgrades and maybe 1 or 2 heart containers.
Yeah, that's why I came into play. I forgot about that one.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask you, Rivas. Like, so yeah, so you guys brought, at least let's say for game 2, you guys rushed pod, which for the boots was looked like actually like a pretty good decision, right? Because you got to use the boots for a lot of the overworld travel. But it turns out when Relkin and Nep went back to pod and they got their boots, we saw them get the heart container out of the map chest. Yeah. We're like, wait.
No, I read something different there, but that was like a moment where I had to find out where to send Petra next, and I knew we just go there for the boots for now, and I didn't see anything specific there that we needed, so I didn't keep the problem throughout the series. I would say is that safeties are still a thing, and yeah, that was also in the first race a little bit the problem, but yeah, and the second one definitely. I mean, first chest Eastern with the second armor, and yeah, Saha as well.
No, we actually thought that maybe you skipped that first armor intentionally because of kind of the state of the match, or okay. No. Well, for what it's worth, I mean, Petra didn't need it, right? He survived the whole way through on 3 hearts. It was very, I think it was very impressive.
That was quite the watch, honestly, just because it was so many pressure situations, a couple of scares, and just clutching them out. I think the sprite actually helped with the situation in the commentary booth for us because it just unfazed the entire time.
Yeah, I will say that it did come at a cost. In particular, Swamp Palace. I was a bit too focused on not dying that I forgot the compass chest. I did that, so both in Eastern and in Swamp, I forgot the compass chest. Eastern was just a mental gaffe. But in Swamp, we were talking about stuff. I was forgetting, I was trying not to die, and just completely spaced out on Bombos. And it wasn't until after I killed Argus that Ravis was like, "Hey, you forgot to kill you forgot to get Bombos." I was like, "Ah, shoot." So.
But yeah, man, I'm trying to think back to game 1 too. There was a couple Clear Mouse. There was something we were curious of in game 1. I feel like, and it's escaping me.
Was it the Hera Small grab from us?
Oh, we also grabbed it, I think.
No, it was an Ice Rod Cave. I saw you guys picking that one up.
Wait,
yeah,
did you also
I
pick
just
it up?
Can't read.
Did you also have him pick it up, Ravis?
No, we didn't pick it up, but I saw you picking it up. I knew I saw the Hera Small Key there, and I was sure there was nothing in basement, but you guys made me definitely rethink what I saw in the Hera basement. I was like, okay, I guess they just, I don't know, they just picked it up, but it wasn't a big time. I was like, it's just Ice Road Cave, whatever.
Yeah, I had a moment like that too in this seed. I happened to notice at one point you two were walking out of C-shaped house, and I was like, wait, what? And so I had to recheck, and I'm like, oh, okay.
No, I will say that we did have some kind of curious moments in race 1. The first one was Ice Palace. The decision to do the Ice Palace bomb jump or not. And Ravis had told me, he was like, no, we don't have to do the Ice Palace bomb jump. He's like, as a matter of fact, we don't need anything on the right side. And then right as I'm going into the bomb jump room, he's like, oh, wait a minute, we need hammer. And my brain just kind of registered that as, oh, wait, we need to change direction. So I ended up trying the Ice Palace bomb jump, failed it multiple times. On 2 hearts, I finally just decided to hover it. And yeah, that was probably not the way to go, but it was just kind of a miscommunication on our part. And I think Ravis may have been checking something on the log, because I don't even think he realized I was doing the bomb jump until I was out of the room. And he was like, oh wait, what? So we could have done that a little better, but that was a bit of a miscommunication on our part. And I'm trying to think what the other one was. I felt like there was something else we were trying to decide. Oh, yeah. So we knew we were behind after the Ice Palace shenanigans and my death in Mini Moldorm, which was super BS. I'm fine with how everything played out, but that death in Mini Moldorm was bullcrap. But we knew we were behind. So when Relkin saw Nep and... I'm sorry, when Ravis saw Relkin and Nep go to Thieves Town, assumedly for Berna, so that you could kill Vidi safely, Relcom was like, "Oh shoot, we can gain some efficiency. Just go to Meyer." And it didn't occur to me when he said go to Meyer, like until I'm opening it, that he's asking me to do like 5 heart vitreous or 6 heart vitreous.
Oh.
And I was like, dude, this is a hard fight.
I offered you the other heart container on the bridge test at least, so it would have been 7, I guess.
Yeah, well, I would have had to have got the heart container and then hovered back, because otherwise you have to fall into the pit to reset the room so you can go to the basement. So it would have been like a a net even as far as Viddy's concerned. So
I was also thieves.
Yeah, the whole time I'm going to Vitreous, I'm like, Ravis, this is a really hard fight, dude. This is a really hard fight. He's like, well, we're behind. We got to do something. I was like, all right. So luckily I didn't die. He was edging me on the whole fight, though. He's like, dude, you can do 1 more damage boost. I was like, I think I'm good. I was like, I'm good, dude. I'm good.
Yeah, I thought your strat of with 3 hearts, like just kind of playing it safe, was the right call. And I even made mention to that because like it is always better to go just a little slower than to take a death trying to go fast, because then it's going to be even more time. So
I mean,
you,
yes
you
and
made
no.
it look easy.
Yes and no. I think like when we know that we're behind and it's not like much left to play, like it was 15 minutes or something, I think at some point you can, like we did in the second game, right? We went full risky and pretty much everywhere, and at some point you kind of have to go the risky way. But in the end, the fight still has to work out, of course. I was thinking about doing Turtle Rock early, but I forgot that bomb boss is in Swamp. So what I originally thought is we might hover Hookshot Cave for this stuff and don't need to double dip Desert. So that would have been probably better if we managed to do that. But then, you never know, and we were on 3 hearts, and if we go after Hera immediately on the east side with a hammer, hover Hookshot Cave and die there, then it's pretty much GG. So
I was gonna ask, like, was hovering ever a thought of either team's mind, or and then on top of that, like, if you did consider it, was the health situation for both of you like also like the deterrent, or was it just not wanting to risk that in general?
For me, I made a passing comment to Roken that was just like, we could save a mountain trip here if you hover Hookshot Cave, but no thank you.
It's like if you fail to hover, you lose like 20 seconds each time you fail on it feels like, so the risk is very, very high, and I was just like, you know what, the more I think about it, probably the better just to come back later with Hookshot.
And also you lose the time just going over there from Hera, right? That's like an additional 20-30 seconds or something. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that, like, you have to be very comfortable and confident that you're gonna do the hover, and like specifically in Spoiled it's so risky.
Yeah, no, there were a couple of glitches that Ravis was asking about. Hovering was one of them. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I think he kind of assessed the risk. He was like, at the end of it, it's just not worth it. And the other one was mimic clipping. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm great with a mimic clip. Let's go. And yeah, I not to be that guy that's like, oh, I lost because of my controller. Like, no, that my controller issues did not make up the difference of this race by far. But no, I've noticed, like, especially like in like some of the mimic rooms and trying to mimic clip, like I think my D-pad's starting to give out. So like I was trying to do like the mimic clip and it just the guy wouldn't move. And I was like, all right, well, thank God I picked up the ferry, which ironically we just picked up because I am not dying in Mini Moldorm Cave again. But it worked out, having the backup, like when the mimic clip failed, that I could, use the ferry to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of D-pad issues, I don't know if you noticed in the first race on my Ganon fight, I nearly walked off. That was because my D-pad decided to be real dumb for a moment. I was actually like a little scared there. I don't know if you've noticed.
I did see you get really close to the ledge, and I wasn't really sure what you were doing, but
apparently my D-pad didn't know either. So yeah.
Oh man. Well, I think any final thoughts from you guys? Relkin and Nep, you guys are moving on to finals. Any final thoughts before we start closing things out?
For me, I thought Seed 1 was so interesting because it was just like every meme item that can be in Ice Palace right there in the Seed. even the fire rod delayed behind the flute.
Yeah, that was something else.
Yeah, I mean, seed 1 was not like, there was not much to route. It was pretty much, there was one good route, and I think for like 40 minutes we ran behind you guys with the mini mold on death, and yeah, it was an interesting series for sure. We didn't bring up 100% today for sure, but it happens. I mean, we got top 4. We met, P-Train and I met with like, you want to do this? Yeah, sure, let's have some fun. And I mean, ending top 4 is pretty good considering the names that we one beat and also are in this tournament in general, right? Like Relkan and Neb, I think you played last year together as well, right?
I did not participate last year.
Oh, okay. But you were in the finals, Relkan, last year, I think. And
yeah.
So there's going to be some hunger for finals, surely. And yeah, I think this is a cool result. I had a lot of fun, P-Train. And yeah, maybe we attend again.
Yeah, I said it before the race for sure that I surprisingly enjoyed this. Like I told Ravis, I was like, you know, I kind of loosely want to do it, but also like I'm just at a place in my life right now where like I don't want any stress. So like I'm happy to participate, but I'm like, you know, if we lose, I don't care. If we win, great. You know, like I'm just not looking for anything to stress out over. So, you know, not that, you know, of course we didn't take our opponent seriously. Like we played every game wanting to win. You know, we tried to bring our best game, and yeah, I mean, make it to the semifinals is crazy. You know, I if we got booted out in groups, I was just gonna be like, hey, you know, I had fun, whatever. You know, Ravis was really fun to race with. He was a great pilot. So yeah, we knew this would be a tough matchup. Like Relkan in particular, like I know that you're very aggressive in the way that you practice this game. You know, there are some things that like I'll look at and I'm just like, I'm trying to practice and I just can't motivate myself to do it because I'm like, oh, this is only like 2 frames, this is only 10 frames, this is only half a second. But I know Relkan, like he really chases those frames and he chases those strats. So any way there is to gain time, I know that Relkan knows the strat. So I knew that's what I was up against. So admittedly, I was kind of leaning on Ravis to carry this series, and he did his best. You know, not that he was without mistakes, but I made a lot of mistakes execution wise. So it just is what it is. But all in all, I really enjoyed the tourney, and yeah, I'd be definitely down to do it again. And I certainly have no problem losing to Nep and Relkan. Y'all are excellent runners, and we knew this would be a tough matchup. So GG's.
GG's. I think this could have easily gone the other way, just depending on the day, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But good luck and have fun in the finals. Definitely, we're gonna watch that one, and hopefully we get a good series. I mean, the other side of the bracket still needs some time, I think, so you get some time off. And yeah, thanks for having us on Restream on ZSR, and thanks for commentating and tracking.
Yep, big same. Thanks again for the races, guys. Thanks for the fun seeds to try and piece together.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us, and GG's to both of you once again.
Yeah, good luck in the finals.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was a really great series. I mean, you know, again, I thought both teams were like, I mean, this is why you play Pilot Spoiler. Ridiculous low percent health, talking about, you know, also backed up by ridiculously like aggressive routes. So definitely, you know, I was very happy to be able to see. So thank you so much for racing, guys. And no.
All right. So I'm going to go and wrap it up there. Thank you, everyone, for racing in this tournament. Hope you all enjoyed it. Everyone watching, please follow the runners, Relkan and P-Train. Also follow the pilots, Ravis and Sailor Nep. And follow our commentators, Clearmouse and Dante. And our tracker, Homemade Beer. We're going to go raid ZSR2 in just a moment. They've got a Skyward Sword vanilla any % race going on. Quarterfinals between Yao and Andy. Then coming up tomorrow, we have a Twilight Princess vanilla race between the Ethernet Boys and Quino Today, I think I said that right. And at 7:20 p.m. Eastern, we have an opening time randomizer race between What the Hell Happened in Gaffaroni. And that's going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful time and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!